Hey you guys, I wanted to cover this article that a subscriber sent to me, and I found it to be quite interesting because it talks about Van Jones and Kim Kardashian. And if you guys have been rocking with me for a while, then you know I can't stand Van Jones because he's a flip-flopper and I believe him to be a double agent, but that's besides the point. This article that was sent to me by the subscriber talks about how Van Jones believes that Kim Kardashian is going to make some remarkable and profound lawyer that will help society in the best way possible. But before I read the article, I have been observing Kim's journey towards becoming some renowned attorney in the legal field, and I think that the reason why she's attempting to rebrand herself in this fashion is so that society doesn't see her as talentless or baseless, because if you look at the Kardashian family, none of them are known for any real accolades or accomplishments other than displaying their promiscuous and provocative behavior. I also recall seeing articles where people from their own community do not look at these women with merit because they understand that their sole claim to fame was based on one of them performing fellatio on camera, and this somehow catapulted her to success. And one of the things I will never understand about American culture is how we make people like Kim or Bad Baby famous for either being disrespectful or salacious in nature. And these people are propped up on pedestals simply for being degenerate, while more pressing matters or affairs are overlooked and ignored. Now, granted, yes, there are people who simply choose to ignore them, but the media doesn't have a problem flashing these vapid people in our faces every 5 seconds because they utter a word out of their mouth. Also, let me just say this. The same way I'm not a fan of Van Jones is the same way I'm not a fan of Kim Kardashian. Not only has she been shown to engage in cultural appropriation and other forms of blackfishing because she wants so desperately bad to be a black woman, but she tried to take credit for the hard work that black female attorneys did to help black inmates who are facing extremely harsh prison sentences. Now, some of you may feel compelled to say she funded their efforts, and while that may be true, the overall aesthetic painted this woman out to be some civil rights hero when in fact it was the black women doing the hard work. It takes a lot of dedication, time, energy, resources, and research, I'm sure, to help overturn these sentences. But the media dressed Kim Kardashian up to make it seem like she was the one doing all of this, posing for the photo opportunities, and even the way she speaks suggests that there's no way she alone was the responsible person for single-handedly helping these disparaged people. But I also take issue with the fact that black people seem to glamorize this family, specifically Kim Kardashian, because her own community recognizes and understands that this woman has maneuvered her way into fame and fortune through disgraceful means. So what does that say about our own pathology that we find treasure in another community's discarded trash? It's no secret that she's had several cosmetic surgeries, augmentations, and enhancements to emulate a black woman's natural physique. And what's interesting about Kim's body is that while a small group of men from her community may find this look to be attractive, the upper echelon elite men will not see her as valuable or some sort of commodity because those type of men prefer for their women to have a certain look. And because of Kim's attachment to black men, this serves as a deal breaker to men from her own community, because when men from the larger society realize that their women have been with men from the black community, they see it as salvaged and no longer worthy of being seen. However, I won't discuss interracial relationship politics on this video. I'll save that for a future video. But I gave that small commentary to help you guys understand my disdain and disappointment in our community's invested interests in a woman that's unintelligent and talentless. To refocus on this article, Van Jones propped Kim up on a pedestal with his usual buffoonish, socially challenged interactions. And I'm going to read this. This article comes from bscott.com, but it starts out by saying, the CNN commentator, who has been repeatedly linked to the reality TV star since her blockbuster divorce from Kanye West, mused that she's going to make an unbelievable attorney. She's already, I think, one of the best advocates that we have in criminal justice, he added on Monday's episode of The Ellen DeGeneres Show. Jones, 52, explained that Kardashian has been working hard and doing amazing with her studies so that she can use her platform to make an impact. I really don't think we should be taking anything Van Jones says seriously. Again, this man is a perpetual flip-flopper. One minute he's for Democrats, the next he's praising conservatives and Trump or one of his affiliates on what he believes to be criminal justice reform progression. And I really think he himself doesn't even know if he's coming or going. I remember Sonny Hoiston called him out on The View because he sits on the fence and consistently demonstrates that he's really more of an opportunist waiting for the chance to attach himself to whatever works to his advantage. And I also think it's a major exaggeration that he says Kim is working so hard and using her platform to make an impact. And the reason why I refuse to give her the benefit of the doubt when it comes to any effort is because her reputation wasn't earned in the traditional sense of working hard. She became what she is today because of Ray J's simple-minded foolishness. Also, her mom pimped her children out for fame, and I'm sure I don't need to go into the whole backstory of this family's history, but it does infuriate me the way our community has this abnormal perspective of thinking she was making some kind of money moves by purposely placing her daughters in spaces or places of proximity to high-profile people just to cash in. And in case you guys haven't noticed, Ray J is a D-list celebrity who has to do anything possible to cling to relevancy, from being on Love and Hip Hop to joining the very dysfunctional Bigo app. He did not get the same benefits Kim got. And I said it once before and I'll say it again. Stop glorifying incompetency. There is no reason for why this woman should even have a platform to begin with when her foundation is comprised of desperation for attention. And regarding her study, she wasn't working that hard, because I actually saw another article not too long ago where they said she didn't pass one of the prerequisite bar exams that's required before you take the actual bar assessment, and how she reportedly is working towards trying to take it again. It just goes to show that beauty and money, no matter how much you have of it, does not translate to intelligence. And so for Van Jones to make this statement only further cements my earlier commentary about him being out of touch with reality. Also, circling back around to what I said earlier, I happen to listen to the way that she talks because I don't watch anything with her on it, so I didn't even know how her voice sounded. But if I could give it a description, it sounds like Valley Girl speak. You know, that stereotypical dumb blonde voice, probably from Beverly Hills, where they talk about how they're gonna go out and hang out with their friends at the mall and maybe go get a pedicure. You know, the ditzy blonde mannerisms and expressions. So to me, it was no surprise that she didn't pass the preliminary bar exam. Not because of the difficulty of the assessment, but it's because I'm sure it is a challenging test. She probably believed that because she descends from a legal background that she was a shoo-in for this field, and unfortunately it's so much more than that. You have to possess the educational experience and wherewithal to go in that field. It's definitely not a pushover. But before I really go in on these two any further, let me at least read some more of this article. So it says, I think she has used her platform to help people behind bars, he said. And he noted that the Skims founder is following in the footsteps of her father, Robert Kardashian, who famously defended O.J. Simpson during his murder trial. That is getting so played out. Her dad was a lawyer and she always wanted to be a lawyer, and so she decided once she got a taste of what she can do using her platform, using her brain, she hasn't let up, he said proudly. In April, rumors swirled that Jones and Kardashian, 40, were secretly dating after they started working closely together on prison reform, though neither of their reps commented on their relationship status at the time. I think what Van Jones is trying to say, which he poorly articulates, is that she's using her platform by helping to spread awareness of the corrupt criminal justice system, which I'm not sure why he would be so naive and blind to think that the system was ever in the favor of Black people to begin with. But this is my interpretation of what I believe he's trying to say. Now, I told you guys this is a narrative they're trying to run with, is that she's trying to pursue a career in the legal field because of her father's association with it. But I believe it's to reinvent her image, because everyone still knows her as the woman who was with Ray J and the show that she got because of that stint. You guys be the judge of that one. I really think it's sad that not everyone can put two and two together to see this situation unfolding for what it is. And the situation with her involvement with Kanye really solidified her notoriety, which I use that word loosely. It really should be more like infamy. But in the eyes of our community, this woman can seemingly do no wrong. It wouldn't surprise me if these two were in a secret incognito relationship, given that they're both intellectually deficient and parade themselves around as politically aware. And Kim has an obsession for Black men and Black culture. Van Jones has a type as well, so they would be a match made in heaven for each other, really. Whether they want to confirm or deny whether they have a relationship or not really doesn't matter. It wouldn't shock the masses either way. In fact, the only reason she probably wouldn't choose Van Jones is because his net worth is significantly lower than Kanye West, and we know that these women are taught to date with hypergamy. And so they'll only date men within a certain tax bracket, and though Van Jones has money, it isn't on the scale of Kanye West, who's a billionaire. And I normally try to abstain from talking about the Kardashians because not only do they annoy me, but they already have blogs keeping the spotlight on them 24/7. If these women so much as sneeze, then I'm watching the blogs report on it, which is pathetic and nothing more than the ultra regressive state of American culture and society. And understandably, it makes sense why other countries and continents look at us as a laughingstock of the world, because what we place value on is ridiculous and retrograde. But what are your thoughts on Van Jones's comments praising Kim for what he thinks will be an amazing contribution to the legal world? I guess he thinks she's going to be the next Harriet Tubman next if he hasn't already said something to that degree. Makes no sense to me. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.